What's up, everybody? It is your sis and your friend, Crystal Cross, right here on the Morning Jam podcast, where we talk about any and everything. Personal, old snaps and claps. It's a dang good day to talk about a few things. So let's get into it.
What's up, everybody? It is your sister and friend, Crystal Cross, right here on the Morning Jam podcast. I am so excited. Listen here. This is family. This is blood. We kind of
Yes,
maybe not. How's it
we
going,
are
Miss
doing.
Antionette, the one and only special guest for today, Antionette Cunningham. Welcome.
It,
Welcome,
well,
fam.
thanks for having me, Crystal. I am doing great on this Thursday, or should I say Friday Eve. I am doing great.
Right. I'm so glad it's
Yes,
Thursday. I'm ready for the weekend and
I
everything.
know. I know. Me too. Me
It's
too.
been one of those weeks that's been like dragging along, but it's been nice because we both have started walking and being healthy
Mm-hmm.
thing and
Yeah,
looking good and getting it all back together.
that's right. Getting our summer fine on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am so honored to have you here, sis. And we
Oh,
are right here on the Morning Jam podcast. We're going to talk about I made some mistakes I can't change, but I changed so I won't make the same mistakes again. Right here on the Morning Gym podcast. Let's get into it. So, whew, when I ran across this
this is gonna
topic,
be thick.
I know it's gonna
Okay.
be so good. It's gonna be so good. So, first of all, before we get started, I want them to you introduce yourself. What's your name? Where you from? What you do? Go ahead and do that, sis.
Well, my name is Antionette Cunningham. I am from Forest City, Arkansas. I am Crystal's first cousin. We are sister children. Our moms are sisters. Um,
Absolutely.
I am a caseworker for the Department of Human Services of Arkansas. Um, I'm a mother and a grandmother. So I'm just a busy person mostly. I'm very active in my church and in my community. So that's pretty
Awesome.
much me in a nutshell.
Yes, and that's a lot in a nutshell because a lot comes
Yeah.
with it. So like again, the topic is so welcome again. Thank you for you're so amazing. I have
Thank you for having
um
me.
you're welcome. Now and I'm gonna call you Pulu because that's
Really,
listen,
Crystal? Really?
internet.
On live?
What people
Really?
say.
Okay.
What people Okay, so
Okay.
internet, like I have, like really, and you may not know this, but of course I have loved you since forever, but I have
Oh,
admired you since forever as well. As a
oh, thank
woman of
you.
God, as a woman, raising her children, grandchildren, just being an amazing queen,
Oh,
black queen is that.
well,
So
thank you.
and as women, we go through a lot of things, we hold a lot of things, we face a lot of things, and we multitask a lot of things. So, with
Hmm.
this topic, again, it says, I made some mistakes I can't change. Right there is all women. We make so many mistakes that we cannot change, but we
Right.
learn from them. So, what is your
Learn.
point on making the mistakes? You can even include the mistakes that you have made as a woman, as a person, and just go from there. What do you think about that?
It's such a broad subject because, like you
Yeah.
stated, we have all made and we're still making them
Hmm.
mistakes. But the key thing is to learn from them. If you never learn from your mistakes and even other people's mistakes, then you're bound to
Yeah.
repeat them. And
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
often wonder, why do I keep going through the same old mistakes? It's because we're not learning them. So my take on it is, what I try to do is to outdo my yesterday self.
Oh
So
wow,
I
that's
work on
good.
trying to be a better version of myself so that I can have better results. So I look at where I erred, and I even take inventory on some mistakes that were made in my bloodline, period, and try to stop those generational things that are treading in our family. You know what I'm saying? So I
Yes,
try to even change that even for my children's sake. So that's the way I look at it. You have to learn from it. That's the only
yes,
reason why I feel like we have, and it's not for ourselves. It's not for just us. Because if God allowed us to overcome the things that we erred in, and we learned something from it, then we're supposed to be able to bring someone else through. You know what I'm
yes.
saying?
So you basically stand for that first step. You need to really acknowledge the mistakes that we've made, and then go
Right.
for it. I always look up stuff, and it always helped me. And I'm like, give me the words, God. Yes, but I want to get
Mhm.
some of what other people have stated, what people have said. But I have
Right.
looked out. Number one step is acknowledging the mistake, and that's what I brought up. And it says
Yes.
steps toward that, toward recovery, is to admit to yourself
Hmm.
that you have made an error, that you have made a mistake.
Right.
A lot of times we don't
Absolutely.
want to admit to ourselves that we have made a mistake. Oh my God, Antoinette, I have made so many mistakes, even as a mom. I even look now at my son KJ, he's about to graduate. And I was like, Lord, these mistakes that I have totally made raising this kid, I wish I could just go back. But we learn from those. We learn from
Learning.
mistakes, and we
Hmm.
press forward. And it says denying responsibility makes you defensive and tends to uh, elongate and elongate the resolution process. Owning up frees you to learn from your experience. I like that.
Absolutely.
So, what do you think on that, sis?
Absolutely. You did hit something there when you said acknowledging. I
Hmm.
always say, what is my little saying? Look, I was about to quote it for you, and then it dropped. Isn't that so cliche? Admission is the first step. Omission is not going
Yeah,
to get you anywhere. So once you admit it, once you can kind of hear a thing, like you said, admit. Once you can hear it, it kind of resonates a little bit with you, and acknowledge that, hey, and
yeah.
sometimes we don't see our own mistakes because sometimes some
Mm-mm.
people, well, I'm not gonna say some people, I'm gonna say for me, growing up, being knowledgeable about a lot of things book wise, I would say, and having a little more knowledge
Yeah,
than maybe some of the others, it was looked upon that I had it all together, but I didn't. I was feeling
right.
my way through life. So a lot of things that I thought were right at the time wasn't necessarily right, but because nobody was able or nobody took the initiative to call me out on what I was doing wrong, it wasn't until later on in life that I realized, oh, you know what? That was not right. That was not right. And so when you learn better, you're supposed to do better, right? So, like you said,
Right.
admission, admitting to yourself first that it wasn't right. So, yeah,
Hmm.
I agree with
Yes,
that
I like it
totally.
because so when you were saying like finally acknowledging who, okay, I have made some mistakes as a person. I think now, since I'm in my 20s, I won't dare go back to my 20s because I was sick, I was hurt, I was just going through that time. But my 30s,
Mhm.
oh my God, Antoinette, it has taught me so many valuable lessons. So many, okay, even looking back, saying, okay, even on my yesterday, like you said, forgiving myself for yesterday. I mean, forgiving the mistakes that I made, learn from them, and do better now, because right now is what's really important. Yesterday is already gone. We can't
Yeah.
change that. We can't. Oh no, you need some water.
Allergies. Go ahead.
Allergies. I was like, I mean, like for real. Like I look back. I was like, man, the stuff and the mistakes that I made, I can't change those. But my process, where it has brought me to now, I can definitely look forward to my future, to right now, and doing like it says. But I changed. Me personally, Crystal has changed. I changed
Hmm.
from my mistakes, my ways that I was making those mistakes. I've learned, so I changed now. So now I won't make the mistakes ever again because I learned those mistakes didn't like really like okay take me down a road where I'm like hey okay this is good for me. It took
Mm-hmm.
me down a road that was hard, roads that had holes in them, roads that had thrown hills and valleys and darkness and hurt, traumatizing. Those moments, those
Yeah.
roads that we take.
Yeah.
And it's our own self that get in the way that decides, okay, yeah, we're gonna make this road, this destination short because I know this is the best way because it looks easy. You get on that short road,
Yeah.
it starts to look long and hard.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Absolutely. And I think one of the mistakes that I often reflect on, and in my growing, see, I didn't realize you're still in your 30s, Crystal.
I'm 39. I'll be 40 in
Oh
August.
my God, I'm feeling so old.
You should not feel
Well,
old. You look good.
in my 40s, mid to late 40s, actually, I come to realize that one of the things that I struggled most with, and I'm calling it a mistake, okay,
Hmm.
because I had to acknowledge that and I had to also redirect my way of thinking. I had to stop looking for me in others or expecting me from other people
Yes.
and realize they ain't me. They can't give me me. You know what I'm saying? So even though I'm thinking the way to my happiness was gonna, you know, give people me and maybe they'll give me back. No. So when I came into the realization that that was one of the biggest mistakes ever, and I always came up
Wow.
disappointed because I wasn't getting the same treatment that I was giving. That makes sense.
Right. Yes.
So that's a mistake that I just completely say, you know what, girl, you cannot expect you from everybody else. Just
Hmm.
know who you are, do what you're gonna do for others, and just, go with the flow of things. Because as long as I'm expecting, I'm getting disappointed every time. And now I'm in a much better headspace. It took some counseling. I used to wouldn't do that, but it took some counseling. Getting some professional help. We don't
Hmm.
like to think about that as Black people,
Right.
but
Right.
it's very important for your healing because, true enough, we bleed. I mean, on everybody. I was bleeding on everybody. Just
Hmm. Yes,
you
I
open
know
up
what
your
you
mouth,
mean.
I'm bleeding all on you too. But it's the mistakes that of me expecting me out of others. I had to hit that because I know a lot of people. I'm not the only one that expect me from
Right.
somebody else, and that's a
Right.
big mistake for your happiness. That's a big mistake because you won't get
Wow.
it. You just won't get it.
Wow. Wow. That's so awesome because for me, looking back like over the 19 years of my marriage, I always want to bring this up into because
Absolutely,
it was a big change. It was a big experience for
absolutely.
me, and I've changed like so tremendously from that. Not that I'm saying that it was terrible, it was awful, it was
It
brutal,
was an
it was
experience,
it was an experience
right?
that taught me and brought me to where I am now. I know the mistakes that I made back then, I won't do it again here in this life.
Hmm.
When we give, and you say, people always say, I was given another life, given another, one more time. I've been given one more time to me.
Hmm.
Like this is where I can make it the best of me, even though I was given the best of me, and the best of me got
Hmm.
kind of tossed and to and fro. But I'm saying I have learned from those 19 years, experiencing things, going through things. It's just things that people go through life when they feel like, okay, I'm about to give up. I'm about to throw in the
Hmm.
towel. This is not working for me. So some give into depression, some give into drugs, some give into different things. What am I trying to say? Oh God, y'all know what I'm trying to say. On the streets,
Honestly, I thought you was trying to say prosthetics, but then I was like, that doesn't go in
no,
there.
no, I couldn't get even the word out. But some go into that just
Yeah.
from life experiences have dealt them the wrong card,
Right.
but not looking to God for any help, saying, "Oh God," and maybe some have, but they didn't give it. They didn't wait patiently in the midst of the storm. You know, they always said there's a silver lining in that storm, and when you
It
see that silver
is.
lining, nobody's really waiting to willing to wait for that. So it's just amazing. And I was going to go over these because they gave me four, Antoinette, on
Okay.
those. They gave acknowledging the mistake, avoid the victim mentality, because a lot of people like to go.
Ooh, yes.
That's number,
Yes.
oh, okay, no, that was a part of number one. Um, so owning up frees you to learn from your experiences. And then um, that was still part number one. Avoid the victim mentality. That's still number one, acknowledging the mistake. So number two is communication. Um,
Hmm.
you may feel like you're hiding from either like your job that you're around, making the mistakes that different things like that. So consider who might be impacted by the problem. A lot of times I didn't feel like I didn't really like think of who I was going to impact during the mistakes that I was making. So I was like, oh, okay, I'm cool, not realizing. So I
Mm.
always tell my son, really think about the situation, on hand and the outcome of it. So before you make
Hmm.
that decision, what you're going to do, because it could be a mistake that's going to make not only hurt you, but the people that
But
love you
others.
and that's around you. And
Absolutely.
then number three is try to fix the problem. So it says salvage the situation. Is there room for salvaging the mistake that we're making and stuff like that? Maybe
Hmm.
in different situations that may occur to me. There are three
Okay.
possible remedies: undo, redo, and make do. I like that.
Hmm.
Um, and then the fourth step is learn the lesson. So there's always a lesson in the mistake that we're making. So I just feel like
Absolutely.
that. So do you want to, you know, give your input put on any of those? Communication,
Yeah.
try
I
to
want
fix
to
the
go back
problem.
to the fix the problem, fix the
Hmm.
establish the problem. And I
Hmm.
think both of us will end up in this conversation more reverting back to our experience as
Hmm.
a
Yeah.
long-term marriage that
Yeah.
failed us. Because I'll touch on the fix it or can it be savage or whatever the problem. Um, that kind of falls into me a little bit the victim mentality.
Hmm.
But when we acknowledge what the real problem, because only somebody that really know what the real problem
Hmm.
is the people that's involved. Okay. But a lot of times we don't want to acknowledge it. Back to that
Right.
acknowledging again.
Yeah.
So in order to fix, we have to admit again, we're still back to step one. We have
Hmm.
to admit that there is a problem that caused, but sometimes, uh, let me slow down because my mind is doing this. Sometimes we get the reason why we kind of get stuck in the victim mentality, especially when we make a mistake. We want to blame everything else to give it a why because it's not. We for some
Yeah.
reason we need that closure. We need that closure, but guess what? Closure is not really a requirement because we're not going to always get it. But
Right.
accepting our part in it is the first step to healing it. You're acknowledging it and you're going to accept your part that you might have played in it, and just try to work on you individually, your person, because like you said, 19 years. You started off young. That would have made you what?
Yes.
20?
Right.
You started
20,
off young
21,
on that
22.
journey. So guess what?
Yes.
You were gonna make mistakes. This was all new to you. You were mom, your first time wife, And then you were going through your stages of growing pains as well as
Yeah.
your companion, right? So you had a lot going
Right.
on right
Yeah.
there. A lot going on right there.
Learning
So
everything.
mistakes are bound to happen. But what generally happens is in that stage of life, a lot of times we grow apart. It's not that we hate each other, but we tend to mature, and some people don't.
Yes.
We outgrow a situation. That's even with a job, you know.
Hmm.
And I know we're supposed to be talking about the mistakes, but these are things that we change. See,
Yes.
we as women, or I'm gonna just say we as ivory women,
Yeah.
we as women, um, we're growing probably faster than a lot of other women that I know. I'm just saying like that. So our mindset is fixated on progression. But a lot of times the people that we're linked up with is not our purpose partners, and they're not progressing with us. And our interests, as we get older, our interest changes. And because we are not connected on the same thought process, I guess I can use that
That's
safely,
good. Yeah.
it causes the division. And when God is not truly the center of our makeup, the real reason why we're together,
Yeah.
because a
Yeah.
lot of us have had many reasons why we got married, many reasons. Um, Whether it was because this is what I should be doing, or because I did XYZ, so now I got to do this. However, when God is not uh, the main focus of both of us, then you got room for other things to kind of get in there. So then we'll chalk that off. Oh, I made a mistake. I should have never done this. But it wasn't truly a mistake. It was just a learning experience.
Right.
Chop it up to experience. That's the way I look at my 16-year relationship, marriage. Hey, don't hate them, love them to death. But hey, it just had, as all good things come to an end.
Yeah.
I thought it was about to take me out for a minute. I'll testify to that. But God had other plans. He didn't let me lose my mind. But I don't really look at it as a mistake. Okay. But to try to see if you can fix or salvage a situation like that, it takes two. But when
Yeah.
it's just you, when you're battling against you in a situation that you have made a mistake on, and I might be talking in circles, it's okay. I'm
No,
gonna
you're
come back
good.
against
No,
it.
you're good.
But when it's a personal mistake that you feel like you've done, you can't beat yourself up about that. You got
Right.
to first forgive you. And I'm gonna tell you that is hard because I didn't know how to forgive myself. I went to
Mm.
counseling and was able to get to a point where I say, you know what? I'm being too hard on me. I'm my worst critic. I'll beat myself up before you even think about it. Trust me, before you say it, I've already whipped myself up and down about it. So you're not telling
Wow.
me anything I haven't already assessed about myself. You know what I'm saying? For the most part. And
Right.
so when you're trying to fix the mistake that you made, just have to focus on, okay, why did I really do that? What was I feeling at the time? What caused me to do that? And make me be accountable for my decisions in that mistake. And then from
Hmm.
that, I have to forgive me. I didn't know no better, or I was in a bad place. Whatever my reasoning is, I got to forgive me for that so that I can move forward. Because if not, this little thing up here would keep us in prison in our own
Yeah.
thoughts. And we'll get trapped in there. And I can witness to that. And I hope I'm not off subject, but
No, that is so awesome. That was so good. I love that. Like I was sitting here like just reading again over what I was just it says accept the responsibility as yours. Remember the golden rule. I guess the golden rule on here it says no matter how frustrating the situation, it is important to listen well and not react emotionally. Remember when you have
Right.
a similar experience. Um, Provide air to really just recover for the people that's around you. Like give them some time because when you make mistakes again, you may be hurting someone while you making that mistake. Take the opportunity to be coached, empower yourself, and then stay calm and confident. I was just really looking at these. I was like, these are so awesome. Antoinette, I have so enjoyed you on here. I have got to get you back on the love and loyalty over love. That's gonna be a good one. And I'm putting that together with a whole bunch of other ladies, but I have definitely enjoyed you right here with your sister, your friend Crystal Cross, with my cousin, Antionette
Yeah.
Cunningham. I have so learned from you. That's really just speaking on the topic. I made mistakes. I made some mistakes I can't change, but I changed so I won't make the same mistakes again. So, in kind of closing, what would you say to someone that has already made the mistakes but really don't know how to really move forward after making that mistake?
Like I just stated, um, seek some help if you feel like you just down beating on yourself, a lot. Take some time to yourself, do some self evaluating, and just forgive yourself. That's the key. Forgive yourself. It's not easy, but it's so worth it. And you will really, really start to get your strength back and stay prayerful. Do
Yeah.
pray. Pray, 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 pray. Stay on your face. God will come to your rescue in any situation that you feel like you can't be forgiven because God has already forgiven you when you ask, but you first have to forgive you as well.
That's so true. Thank you. Thank you. That was awesome. So, in my closing, I wanted to say whether you blew it or someone in your organization did, like if you're on your job, like someone just did it, dealing with an error appropriately requires integrity and courage. Those are two of the key attributes to an effective leader. Keep in mind that the rest of what Alexander Pope says: to err is human, to forgive is divine. Right here, we're just sitting your friend Crystal Cross on the Morning Jam podcast with the one and only special guest, Antoinette Cunningham. You guys be blessed. But remember what she said: outdo your yesterday because today is what really matters. Right
It
here
does.
again. Thank you, Antoinette. And if someone
You're
wants to,
welcome.
I know that End Time Spiritual is in Forest City. Let them know where they can connect with you guys if they want to come and be a part of your church as well.
Okay, we're located at 507 North Division, right here in the city of Forest City, Arkansas, where my mother, the awesome Reverend Glovia Cunningham, is the pastor of the church. We have been in existence. This is going on our 16th year, I
Yay!
believe. Yeah, 16, 15 years, something like 16. So yeah, I get twisted because you in a year before we even had anniversary. So,
That
but
is
yeah, come
okay.
on out and fellowship with us. We are in revival this week, actually. Tonight and tomorrow is the climax, and
Yeah,
Reverend Theodis Cochran is the speaker. 7 o'clock. And I
thank
do
you.
appreciate you, Crystal, for this opportunity. And
You are so welcome.
the next time you're gonna better prep me, but
Listen, I always say people get so nervous when I give them just a small little topic, and it's always good, like to come in like all natural, original from the heart, and that's what I love. That's what I love.
yeah, yeah,
I can prep you all
that's
day, but
fine.
when we prep, we get to, doing our things. But we're good. You
Mhm.
did amazing, and thank you so much. Right here
You're
again, like I
welcome.
said, with your sister, and your friend Crystal Cross. We love you. Peace out. Bye.
If you enjoyed this podcast, tune in each week on thinkingoutloudnetwork.com. Be sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and share with your friends and family. Until next time, peace.